We're in Apple Shack. This is our first time picking an apple here. And we're entering the darkest cider forest. Yay. And that is my husband. Hi, honey. Something like every time.
No, but think about it. You're trying to take this thing off. What are we doing?
Welcome back. My husband is already on a tractor. Excited to go for a tractor ride to the apple trees area. And this is where we're gonna ride. We're a bit too early.
In the shade. I'm comfortable. Got a nice breeze.
First come, first serve.
I might as well sit here and relax.
Yeah. See? And we're probably gonna head down there. What a nice breeze. What can you say, Mr. Nicklin?
What can I say?
Yeah.
An apple a day.
Keep the dogs away. So we're in front. We're the first one. So we got the front row of the ride.
Yes.
There's the back thing. We're the first passengers.
Yes. We booked.
We booked it.
First class. It's the first time I've ever gone first class.
Yeah.
On a tractor. And let me tell you, everybody should go first class on a tractor. That's what I reckon.
See?
Guys.
It's moving.
Alright, so good morning everybody. Welcome to Glenbernie Orchard. It's still morning. My name is Harry. We're on the Orchard Explorer today. We're going to do a bit of exploring the orchard, but first, if everyone can hear me loud and clear, just chuck your hands up in the air so I know for awesome, that's what I like to see. No one's missing out on anything.
Yep.
So before we get too deep into the tour, just a couple ground rules we've got to touch on. First one, and most important one, definitely for your health and safety, is keep your hands and feet inside the tractor train and also stay seated while we're out here on the tour today. The reason for that one is we'll be getting you quite close to some trees, some poles, some fruit trees, some gates, fences, plenty of stuff to see out here in the orchard. We just don't want you to catch on any of that stuff while we're out here. And our other rule is here on the tour especially, but also everywhere else on our property here today, if you have any fruit or food that is not. Originally it was just one farmer, he got his axe out and got stuck into it, sort of clearing a bit of the land, and then planting potatoes and also pasturing chickens here. But then about 10 or 15 years of doing that, and it was doing really bad things to his back, and he's like, oh, this isn't going to work for a very long time. What can I plant that's going to be a little bit easier on my back? The answer at the time was plum trees, and then later on we moved into peaches, nectarines, apples, we've got some persimmons that we'll see shortly, and there's also some apricots hiding out there in the orchard too. You probably won't get to see, they're a bit hidden. Maybe that's a fun Where's Wally for you, you can see the apricot trees if you're an apricot tree expert. This is my favourite dam on the orchard. The reason for that is you can usually see some fish hanging out in here, some big koi fish. They've been a bit scared today because Zeke the dog was in there chasing around earlier. So I think they're hiding maybe up the back, terrified. We've also seen some native turtles laying their eggs in that dam, which is really, really cool. I didn't realise until a couple of years ago there are a lot of native turtles in this area. You can see them crossing the road sometimes, so please do help them across. But they do like to urinate on you if you pick them up, so all them away from you. Okay, I reckon. We actually bring hives of bees in, and all those bees fly around between the different apple blossoms and pollinate across the different varieties of apples. Native into the local area, and then forage on that native vegetation. And also a little bit on our peach and apple flowers. And then we make some really, really hot today.
It is a bit hot.
These trees on our right hand side. Scraping on the ground a little bit like that. These trees on our right hand side are our Z-Fire yellow nectarines. So Z-Fire is the variety name. So what that means is, at the shops they might just be sold as yellow nectarines, but here at the orchard we have about 5 different varieties of yellow nectarines that are already about a week or 2 apart. And that way we can always guarantee that we have some really, really fresh fruit for them. And they send them to us for free to see how they grow in different climates. They're actually so new they don't even have a name yet. So that plaque underneath them, that little metal plaque, has the serial number of the apple, the variety of apples. And then once the farmers that grow them decide they're cool enough and popular enough and they're going to be tasty enough, they give them a name. The most recent one of those that they give it a name is called the Rosé apple. It's a green skinned apple, but the inside flesh on it is actually fluoro pink, like a pink highlighter. And then it tastes a bit like a fruit tingle, that one. So really, really tangy, really acidic, just bursting with flavour. Really beautiful. We've only got about 6 trees of that one, so don't expect them in our shop this year. Well, I reckon we're going to plant some more. I'm sort of getting the farmer onto that because I really like them, and I hope we see them around. Oh, I sort of get what's going on here. You know, like I like this villain arc, I like this love triangle. You know, well, I'm not sold yet, but I'll give that 3rd episode a go. And by that 3rd episode, you're in love. You're loving the show. It's the same thing with our heritage cider. It's very complex and it's quite a dry cider. So there's a lot to take in there, but if you give it a red hot go, you'll end up absolutely loving it. Get that one in us. Hold on tight this bit, guys. It does get a bit rocky and a bit bumpy.
It is a bit bumpy.
And that's because this bit here is usually nice and muddy. Very lucky for it to have it dried out for it today. So it takes drying through here a little bit more fun. But yeah, Dust Forest is one of the highest rainfall areas in the state, getting between 300 and 400.
What a good
Before. My name is Ruby. It's easy to remember. Red hair, Ruby Red. If you need me, come and give me a yell and I can take photos for you, answer any questions you have. I also love to see your weird apples. If you find a weird one or a particularly tiny one or a really large one, my favourite thing. So it's actually really, really easy if I can find an apple that's in a good spot for a demonstration. Now, this one's got a... acting like a peach. Oh, terrible stuff. We'll leave that one there. I'll pick them up later. Oh yeah, any apples that you find on the ground, leave them there. If you drop your perfect apple and you want to take it home with you, it's up to your discretion. 5-second rule, 40-second rule. But we leave them there. So I'm pinching at the top of his stem, which has a very scientific name in the industry. Does anyone know what the name of an apple stem is?
Red and shiny. We're in an apple farm. Picking some, huh? Oh, here we go. Start picking now. We got, both of us have own plastic bag, and my husband already picked 2.
I don't think I'd be getting paid a lot for picking apples. I've only got 2 so far. I think I would be, yeah. If it was per apple, I'm not doing too well right now.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah, that one's good. Get that one.
The good thing about this is no wax, you know. Pick it up.
That one.
Yeah, that's plenty of it. Apple picking on a scorching weather. Danny, still green. Actually, they had Granny Smith green apple. That's green apple.
Tractor?
Yeah. Where's the tractor?
Up there.
This way. We pass it.
On this side.
On the other side?
Up there.
Alright.
See?
Okay. We're gonna take photo on the tractor. We keep walking.
Yeah. Like, wasn't there a different variety or just something?
Oh yeah, because you know he said that there was
We are just resting, and my husband is talking to me, to the tour guide.
Yep, I'm with you. I hear you. And it just seems that whoever
More apple.
Apple. I just think the oxygen cut off from your
Apple.
You need to be out.
More apple. Okay, guys, we're still picking apple, and my husband is being chatty. He's been talking at the tourist guide all the time. See, that's the oldest tractor. Apple picking, yay! Come down, it's $15. $15 an entrance. Again, a tractor ride and a bit of a tour of the farm, and then pick your own apple, whatever how much you pick, and you're gonna pay for that. It's a good experience. Back on the track.
So I know for a fact all you guys found some really good gala apples out there, which you're very happy with. They're really, really beautiful. Sit back and relax and we'll sort of have a wander back up to the orchard. That tree there is actually cutting from the other plum trees. They're sort of getting a bit old. We're like, oh, we should probably take a cutting from them and grow a new one, you know. And then this is the oldest dwelling that was here on the property. Dates back all the way to the 40s. Sort of day in the life of the farmer that used to live there was he'd get up at first light before dawn, get into it, get in the mix, sort of work on the farm, work on the potatoes and the chickens, that sort of thing. Do that all the way until it got dark. And then from when it got dark till 8, 9, sometimes even 10 o'clock at night, he'd work on that crop, that house, and there was another one as well. Sort of chucking straw on the floors, chucking newspaper on the walls, maybe bricking up that chimney, a few other things. And then he would go to bed, ready for the next day. They can hold about 400 kilos of apples or 200 kilos of peaches and nectarines in each one of those. Because we don't like to squish the peaches and nectarines, so we put less in. And then one person can pick between 6 and 8 of those bins, if they're good, in a day. And then we get a bunch of pickers, and this is how many bins we end up with.
I think next time when peach and nectarine is season,
here in
we
front of
can
the
go.
shop. You just take that bag of apples you've got into our shop, which is in front of us on our right-hand side, and also that wristband. And I will just remind you, inside the shop there is the one place on the orchard where we definitely do need to wear our masks. So save them reminding you. I'm doing it now. And then we also have our cafe and food truck, the Paddock by North Hooker over here. I have a brisket sandwich waiting for me. I already ordered it, so jump in there and order one of those. You can get chips and things like that too. And we've got our bar here as well. So you can grab a cider, grab some food from our food truck.
Daddy, are different types of jam?
We're just waiting for our launch after the tour. Did you enjoy the apple tour, my love?
I did.
Good. And we had some stuff here. This, I like this honey mustard dressing. That's gonna be yummy. And I have this honey for our smoothie and a cider. That's
Dickens cider.
cider. Yum.
That's a good cider, that.
Yeah, this one.
No, there's a cider called Dickens cider. I think it's a good cider, Dickens cider. What?
She's making fun.
No, it's actually a true
are
brand
making
name
it
of
fun.
cider, Dickens cider.
Okay. Lunchtime after the tour, we have what's this, sandwich and chips. It's good.